Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. And it's your boy, Don Benito. And today, we've got the match reaction. We have got AMAD and Mazraoui masterclass. We have got nothing has really changed in the team, and rightfully so. But we'll talk more about that. And then we're going to be talking about the injury boost. I think you guys saw Mason Mount making a cameo yesterday. Thumbs up. There's also another player that needs to come in. We'll talk about that. And also, we will just talk about in general how these players are playing so far and how things are going to take a turn for Manchester United moving forward. Now, let's get straight into it. Manchester United versus PAOK Europa League. You know what? That is the one game that I could easily say we labored to win that game. From the get-go, you just know we're going to win this. At no point did I feel like we would lose this game. However, we labored to get this win. It took long to get this win. This game was supposed to be done and dusted in the first half. You know, PAOK was supposed to be in panic. We were supposed to give PAOK 8, just like what Chelsea did to that team from wherever. We were supposed to hand out a proper beating last night. But why didn't we do that? Why didn't we beat this team more than 5? Like, it's just some weird, like, honestly, that was like Barnsley to me. That was like the Leicester B team to me. Yes, there were better players. Yes, those are the Greek champions of last season. Yes, they are currently sitting second in the Greek league. But that just shows the levels of the leagues. At no point did I feel like PAOK was going to cause some significant damage at Manchester United. That game should have been a flawless game for Manchester United. It was supposed to be the game that people look at, and if they want to completely talk smack about anybody, Erik ten Hag, that was the opportunity. But then right now, people are coming in and start talking about Erik ten Hag. You know what? Until Erik ten Hag, whatever, I will defend him. Because right now, I just jump onto the socials and people are already going in on the gaffer, our ex-gaffer. He's a fraud. Look, he should have played AMAD. He should have done this. Oh, have you forgotten what happened? Are you forgetting? And this is my problem with society. People forget. You always forget. Not so long ago, when Erik ten Hag benched AMAD, it was because of Garnacho. He was putting in somebody that you guys were screaming about. Play Garnacho, play Garnacho, play Garnacho. This season, we started off with Rashford and AMAD. Garnacho came in late because he was at the Copa. Remember? But then everybody was complaining because they were like, nah, Garnacho came in 2 weeks earlier. How is it that he's looking like he's not fit? He's supposed to be starting. And Garnacho at the time, he was coming in on the right. Every game not every game, but those first 2-3 games, when he comes on, provides an assist, scores a goal. Garnacho was on fire coming off the bench. People have forgotten that. Now, how you look at that is up to you. I look at it as, okay, Garnacho last season, that number 11 position, that left wing position was his. He owns it. But because he came late into the season, he had to win his spot back. Fitness-wise, he was not yet there. Erik ten Hag said it. Fine. So he starts off with Rashford and AMAD. AMAD and Rashford, okay. At the time, AMAD specifically is doing the job, but there's no end product. Rashford is not doing the job completely. He's just there. Then we're like, okay, so we already know who our best wingers are. Left, can we put Garnacho there? Because every time he comes on, he does the business. AMAD has cemented himself as that right position because we know what he's capable of. That's how it was supposed to be. Remember that. And then Erik ten Hag decides to rotate and all hell breaks loose. When he tried to rotate, you guys were not having it. You were not. Nah, why is he benching Rashford when Rashford is just about to get his momentum? Why is he putting this guy? AMAD comes on. AMAD also is not really producing one of those games. So now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what the fuck do you guys want? Yes, AMAD had a thriller yesterday, but that's a completely isolated situation. That is specifically only for AMAD. AMAD, we all know, we were all screaming, free AMAD, free AMAD. We wanted him to be free. Yesterday was one game that AMAD particularly, that he took the game by the balls and said, listen, you guys have been talking smack about me. Let me show you what's good. And he just completely went out. And when you look at it, it was a standout performance. Garnacho didn't stand out. He was bad. He wasn't bad like I said it, but he wasn't good. He wasn't good. If Garnacho was offering the same impact AMAD was in that same game, we were supposed to smack those guys 6. Because if Garnacho's taking, AMAD taking, that is one of the most deadliest attackers or attacking systems that is out there. But no, you guys don't like, and that's why I kept saying Erik ten Hag is damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Whatever decision Erik ten Hag would have made at any time, it was going to get criticized, it was going to get scrutiny, it was going to get everything. So for people to come out now and start saying, oh, Erik ten Hag is a fraud, hey, you see, you should have been, like, seriously? Seriously? Can we stop behaving like children and forgetting what had happened? AMAD had an amazing game yesterday. Yes, we're not going to take that away from him. But we need to see more of that. We want to see more consistency. Like, that can't be just one off. AMAD he has been good, but then his output has not been spectacular. His goals, assists have not been where we need them to be or where they should be. So I get that people and everybody are excited that AMAD did his thing. I really, really am. But I think people need to relax with the name calling and trying to bash and trying to look for excuses that now. And another thing, can we just talk about how the football hasn't changed? And rightfully so. Like, you can't expect Ruud van Nistelrooy at this point to impact his philosophies or his style of play or whatever. He knows his job. He knows that he's an interim job, like manager. He knows that he's got limited time. The 11th is just around the corner. I think it's next week. Amorim is touching down. And we don't know what is going to happen to Ruud van Nistelrooy. That's why I'm enjoying the press conferences right now. Because these people keep trying to rope Ruud van Nistelrooy into these questions and into these situations where if he exposes himself, the media are going to eat him alive. And I just like how he keeps on I don't want to use the word deflecting, but just bouncing off this nonsense. Like, listen, I'm only here, I'm in charge of this game and the next game. After that, we're going to have to wait and see what won. Stop coming at me and asking me, hey, what? You know, they kept on asking him the style of play, this. Listen, nothing has changed. That Manchester United, nothing has changed. It's just fortunate or unfortunate, whatever way you want to look at it. Some of these guys have started picking up form after Erik ten Hag has left. Bruno yesterday was absolutely, man, I am struggling. Personally, I am dying inside because Bruno is my magnifico. When you support somebody and you put all your energy. I remember there was a time when I used to be like, listen, don't come at me and talk to me about bullshit. I don't want to hear it. Bruno is Bruno. Let him do. I'm not giving him that because we're now in a new era. I'm not saying leave him alone. Let him. Nah, I'm not. And that is making me feel some type of way. I am just angry all the time when I look at Bruno. I'm upset because I know what he's capable of. And then I see the way he's playing and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. You look at Dalot yesterday. Another one who I've been complaining about since the beginning of the season. It's just now that everybody else has jumped onto this bandwagon that they're seeing the kinks in Dalo's fucking armor. No shit, Sherlock. Like, this is what it has been like. You look at Mazraoui, the way he was playing. When I keep saying that, look, when our left back comes in, Dalo is going to chow bench. I don't know if people are understanding what I'm saying. Mazraoui, Dalo, difference night and day. Mazraoui was on fire. On fire. This guy has been on fire since arriving at Manchester United. This guy produces 6.5 performances out of 10. 6.57. Like, I've never seen him perform anything below that. This guy is a gem. We've got him we bought him for peanuts. This guy is turning out to be the signing of the season, honestly. With the way his contribution and everything that he has come and done at so far, Mazraoui is looking like the best Manchester. He's looking like a candidate for Player of the Year. Because he is absolutely amazing. Like, he's been good. And people are talking about AMAD's game yesterday. AMAD's game was complemented by Nusai Mazraoui. Now, there's something that I'm going to say that might just contradict everything that I've been saying in terms of Dalo. Now, Dalo, unfortunately for him, honestly, I don't know what to say about Dalo. I don't know. I don't know why these people keep playing him on the left. Clearly, I mean, Erik ten Hag said it in one of his press conferences, why he put, because I wanted to know as well, because I didn't understand why the left side, there was just such a big gap. And if Mazraoui is doing such a good job on the right, and we bought him as a utility player because he can play both left and right, I'm like, why are we not putting him on the left? Why are we not getting maximum of, like, why are we not shutting shit down? And I actually wanted to prove a theory. And once that happened and we moved him, we conceded a goal where Dalo was. So already I knew that what I was thinking about Dalo was spot on. He's an average player, he's got a difficulty with awareness. He doesn't like to track back. He gets caught out of position a lot. Now, whether that is on the managers or on him, I feel like it's on him. I feel like it's on him because I see some of the runs that he makes. I see him putting himself into these positions. And I ask myself, but dude, you do understand that if our ball is turned over where you are, we are going to be in trouble. I mean, if I can see it, how is he not seeing it? And then every time I look at Dalo, once the ball has been turned over, he is chasing after the ball. He's chasing, and it's just one of those slow. It's annoying. So for me, again, Dalo had a very, very bad game. He's one of those players that annoys me because when he's supposed to provide an assist, he doesn't. He overpasses, he overkicks. He's got a very good whip on him. You know, he makes good runs at times, but then it's one of those things where conditions need to be met for him to produce them. Beauty of a cross or an assist or one, like, that's just how I feel. I don't know about you guys, but that's just how I feel. So he was another one that just had a bad game. Casemiro and Ugarte were solid. They were. The only problem that I would say is that there was a little bit of mispassing. There was a little bit of complacency in the middle of the park when it came to passing. Now, but that's the least of the problems. Like, honestly, that was the least of the problems. So I think for me in that midfield, Bruno was the one that was more wasteful. There were a lot of those pings that Bruno likes to give that just annoy you, especially when they don't hit the man. We know that Bruno's capable of a long-range pass. We know he's capable of all sorts of passes. Heck, he was once partnered to Bruno, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba was the master. Any part of that pitch, Pogba will ping that ball and get it to you. I don't know if this guy's trying to channel Pogba, but right now it's not working. And I remember sitting here watching, and I need to give a big shout out to Mark Goldbridge because, you know, he said something that I also thought, like, what the fuck? You know, certain things with players, like, I get annoyed when I see these players make mistakes, especially schoolboy mistakes. You know, passing. Like, that is something that you can't. We used to get shit for it. And we're not even professionals. I'm talking about high school. I'm talking about schoolboy level, whatever. Just before pro, you get shit for passing. Like, if you're, you know what they would say? And this is one of my famous quotes from one of my big brothers, Claude Mve. He would say, can't trap, can't play. If you can't control the ball, you can't play football. You can't. So I want to add on to that. You can't pass. Fucking hell, you can't play football. Because how is it that somebody getting 250,000 a week cannot give a good 10-meter pass? I will never accept it. And this is the problem that we were having. This is the problem that I was saying. Like, how dare you blame Eric Ten Hag for that? Eric Ten Hag is not passing the ball for these motherfuckers. It makes no sense. So I get annoyed when I see things like that. It's so annoying. It is very annoying. Because you don't expect that from professionals. You don't. You don't. And then you look at these teams that are playing, like relegation teams like in the championship. When you watch them play against us, you can see that, oh my God, there's a difference. Because they're moving the ball, and the ball's getting to each man, and there is structure. But us, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passes, the next pass it's gone. The next pass is gonna be a Hollywood pass that will be fucking sent back. And then we have to start contesting for it again. So that is very, very annoying. Very, very, very annoying. And I don't know how we're gonna do about that. But so far, I think Ruud van Nistelrooy is doing a good job just keeping us afloat. I don't want him to do anything else more. I don't want him to add his flavor, because his flavor will confuse the players. Do you understand what I mean? Like, say for example, if Ruud van Nistelrooy right now decided to choose, just before Amarin comes in, wants to impact his philosophy in there, these boys are going to reject it. We know it. We've seen it. History, oh my God, history speaks for itself. So he can't. He has to be there. He has to stick with the old structure that was there. And then he has to just make decisions. Whether it is he's going to start AMAD, whether he's going to start Garnacho, it doesn't matter. You know, he's the one there that's controlling that. Another player that I was very disappointed with was Rasmus Højlund. I don't think Rasmus Højlund had a good game. I don't think Rasmus Højlund has been having a good game since. I don't want to bash him. I don't want to go too much in on him, because that's not what we do at Manchester United. I really want to give him a chance. I really do. But I'm sounding the alarms right now that he is not the number 9 that we thought he would be. He's not. If we were thinking about a Ibra or a Lukaku or a Wayne Rooney or a Falcao or a Martial or Cole, York, Sheringham, a striker that imposes himself. I'm sorry to say this, but Rasmus Højlund doesn't have it in him. He can be a number 9 for another team, but not Manchester United. And that is not taking a shot at Rasmus Højlund. No. It's the club. The club is too big. It's too heavy. The amount of number 9s that have come at Manchester United and donned that number 9 shirt and done the business and failed, and some make it, it's tricky. And at the pace that I'm looking at Rasmus going, I'm just not convinced that he's the guy. He's not the guy to take us to the promised land. I'm sorry. I hate saying it. It's taking so much in me to say it, but he's not the guy. Him and Xerxes, they're not it. They're not it. Now, whether you want to say, oh, that is an Eric Ten Hag signing, because that was not, you know. So, I mean, Xerxes was a Ineos signing. Rasmus Højlund was the old regime signing. So let's not get it twisted. So I don't know how you guys are going to feel about that, but so far I'm not impressed, and it's the problem, you know. At this point, we're just waiting for Ruben to come in, because you know what? I'm really trying to see the impact of the manager. Like with Ruben Amorim, we're going to see something different. Like we are about to witness I would say history. Because, number one, Ruben can come in, try to impact these players, and fail dismally, which Ralph Rangnick did, which Jose Mourinho did, which Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did. You know, like these were managers that came in and tried to impact them in whatever way, whatever capacity, and they failed. Gang press, this, it failed. So now we look at Ruben Amorim. Yes, he's a younger guy. Yes, he might be more personable with these guys. Yes, he might strike the right balance within scolding the players and putting an arm around them. He seems like the guy. And I think if he gets that right, then I think he will be able to galvanize the players. He'll be able to get the players to focus on the mission. He'll be able to get everybody on the same page. But if he doesn't, then that is going to be a problem, because I honestly, truly believe that we do have the players for his system. We do. Remember, we were watching, we watched the City game, the Lisbon and Man City. And I told you that I couldn't help but think that, listen, we actually have the players for this. You know, that three at the back, we've got Martinez, we've got Yoro coming back with somebody that I'm going to talk about very soon, and and De Ligt. And then Dalot, you see, so here's the weird thing. Dalot, in this system, he might just be the gem of all gems, because he doesn't really like to track back. And he likes to find himself in forwarding opposition, like up there. My issue with Dalot is that, yes, he has a nice whip. Yes, he can score a goal, but it takes a miracle. You will not get that consistently, like Trent Alexander-Arnold. No, you will not. Do you understand what I mean? So with Dalot, you're always going to be like in the middle, like, okay, he will provide it, maybe not. Like, you're just going to have to deal with it. He's fast, he's strong, he can go back and forth in the right system. Now, like I said, that's the three at the back. Then he plays the four with two pivots, two central midfielders, whether it is a box-to-box or an anchor or a register, somebody to sit there and hold it. And then he's got two fullbacks who are wingers. You know, they have to be sort of wingers, because he wants them to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And we've got that in Mazraoui. We saw that last night. He was bombing back and forth, technically gifted, not losing the ball, complementing AMAD perfectly. You understand? So we have that. Then we've got Dalot, who, this season he hasn't missed any game. He's been fit. So I give him that. He's been Mr. Reliable. But he's just not good enough. We're waiting for Luke Shaw. Tyrell Malacia is there. Anyway, you know what? I'm just going in and in and in. I need to talk about the next segment. The injury boost. Woo! This is something that I was so excited about. This is something that has lifted my spirits. I really wish Erik ten Hag would have been around there to experience this, because, man, I feel for my gaffer. I really do. And every time I see somebody take a pop at him or take a shot at him, it annoys me, puts me in a funk, because he really didn't. He's not solely to blame for Manchester United. But Lenny Yoro is back on the pitch. Guys, I think you guys have seen that even from the beginning. I've been telling you guys that our best defender is injured. I've been saying it. I was like, our best defender is not even on the pitch. So wait. Let's wait and see this guy come there and do his thing. He's coming back. He just recently got into training with the first team, running. He's been doing some individual things. So expect Yoro in the next 2.5, 3 weeks. Like, when I say 2.5, 3 weeks, I mean maybe he'll be getting at least 30 minutes playing, 20 minutes, last 10 minutes. And then in the next year, he will be right there. And then Amorim, with his three defender system, he's got defenders there. And then you can imagine in our defense, we also have got backup. Because last night, we watched Evans and Lindelof do a job. That was something that I was just like, I was happy about. I was chuffed by it. Because I'm like, we can bench Martinez, we can bench De Ligt, who we are going to need against Leicester, and we can play Evans and Lindelof. And they were so good. So good. The defense was so good yesterday. Our defense has been solid since the beginning of the season. Yes, we got battered by Liverpool. Yes, we got battered by Tottenham. But You compare our stats last season and now, we are way better. We're in a way better position than we were, which doesn't make sense as to why Eric Ten Hag was sacked. It's just the position that we're in. But other than that, it just takes a couple of 1, 2, 3 wins and we're back there. We're back there in the mix. You also saw last night that Mason Mount made a cameo. Mason Mount. I love Mason Mount. I don't like that he got the number 7 jersey, but I love Mason Mount. I love his style of play. I like the player profile that he is. You can teach Mason Mount anything. You can give Mason Mount any kind of instructions, and he is those players that every manager enjoys to have. Because he can literally come to you and say, yo, Mason, I was thinking I want to do this. And he will absorb the instruction and understand it at the first go. There are not so many players like that out there. And Mason Mount is one of them. He's a speeding demon. I couldn't wait. My only worry is that can he stay fit? I heard rumors that he's got an injury. He had some sort of injury in his pelvic thing that is causing him to have these recurring injuries. And I'm just like, whoa, can you please go and patch your pelvic, whatever, your area. Go and sort that out. Because if you're going to keep on having these injuries coming back, it doesn't help us. It doesn't help your stock. And again, you're wearing the number 7 shirt. That shirt needs to be respected. I'm sorry. And then that, you pass it down to Garnacho or AMAD. One of those youngsters deserves that jersey. But with Mason Mount coming back, I am so stoked because when I look at the Amorim system, Mason Mount is perfect. Mason Mount is perfect. I actually even explained to you guys in the previous one of the episodes where I was like, Mason Mount has played in a 3-4-3 system before under Tuchel. The Champions League winning Chelsea, Tuchel, they played with 3 defenders. And Mason Mount played a pivotal role in that number 10 Amorim. When people are watching Amorim, they say he's using inverted wingers in that number 10 position or double 10. With Thomas Tuchel, was the same thing. He was in that advanced area, attacking area. And once you put Mason Mount in those positions, just know that the battle is going to be won in opposition's half. That's what I like about him. If your players at the back there are not organized, Mason Mount, with his pressing, with his tenacity, makes sure that you guys sort yourself out at the back there so he can fix things. He defends from the front. He has been doing it since the beginning of the season. And it was nice to see him back. It's nice to see him coming back when Amorim is, some would say that no, he was injured because he's trying to. Nah, I don't believe that. Because Eric Ten Hag, if there's one player that Eric Ten Hag did bring, it's Mason Mount. That one, I mean, okay, it's weird that I'm saying that he brought him because I was still skeptical as well. Because I was thinking that Mason Mount was one of those galactic buying, like not from the manager, just from the hierarchy. They identified a potential deal. Mason Mount is not wanted at Chelsea. He's 25 years, still good. Oh my God. Are these guys crazy? They want to get rid of Mason Mount. Let's get him. And they got him. And in fact, they knew about the situation about Mason Mount 6 months before the noise for him coming to Manchester United actually materialized. So there was a lot of stuff that was going behind that. So I'm happy that Mason Mount is back. Tyrell Malacia is also another one. We have been crying out for a left back, but Ruud van Nistelrooy has come out and said that Tyrell is close. He's coming close. I mean, he's already there training with the players, but when I say close, I'm talking about in minutes. Because, when you're coming back from an injury, you can't play 90 minutes. You can't even play 30 minutes. You need to ease yourself in. So I'm expecting Tyrell Malacia to make a cameo or to make his return. I don't know if he's going to make a return against Leicester. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But it will be nice to see that, just so that we can have an understanding of how far he is. You know what I mean? But that is the injury boost that we have there at Manchester United. But again, can I just say this? these players let down Eric Ten Hag. They down tools, couldn't be asked. A lot of these players, some of these players haven't apologized. We haven't seen in social media them having any communication with the manager. And here they are having some of the time of their life. I know it looks like at Manchester United we are playing ball, but it hasn't changed. Honestly, nothing has changed. For you seasoned guys that understand football, you know. Yesterday's game was won on individual brilliance. AMAD yesterday put a, like, he dropped the jaw of my sister. My sister was just like, like she had never seen anything like it because she saw him go for that ball, fight for it, beat this man, come inside, cut inside, and smack that. That was something that you can't write a story like that. You can't. That was individual brilliance. He wanted it more. And fortune favors the bold. Like, it favors those that are hungry, more hungry. I always believe, because I'm very superstitious. I'm sure some of you know. And I believe the football gods. It doesn't matter which team it is, whether it's Manchester United or whatever. But I always have this saying that the gods always add an extra boost. Like when they see that you are giving it your all, like you are literally playing football. And there's a distinct difference. When you play football, the gods intervene. I'm sorry. That's just how I think. They intervene. I'll give you an example. Do you remember Bruno Fernandes' goal during, was it Leicester? I think it must have been Leicester. The one where he kind of like passed himself and ran, and then he went in, and then he went and he scored. Like, that was fortune. That was the gods say, Bruno, hey, and they blew the ball, and it went, and there are some things that you just cannot explain. And AMAD, that was just another moment. Because can I tell you something? AMAD will not replicate a moment like that. He will not. He will not. That was, when I saw that moment, it was like, you remember Mr. Bean? When he's coming down, like when Mr. Bean starts and he falls from from the sky, from the aliens, and you feel sorry for him, and they're playing this song, and then there's that beam of light, right? That was AMAD yesterday. AMAD, at that moment, the gods just beamed on him, and he just shined. We're not going to see another. I mean, I'm not saying that he's bad, and I'm not by any means trying to say that he will not score goals or not provide assists. No, I'm talking about that moment of brilliance. That moment, he will not replicate that moment. You could see it. It was something built up. And I believe that the gods were saying, yeah, man, yeah, like, big ups. You've taken your time, like you've been chowing bench, you've just continued training, you've just been putting in the work, not complaining, putting your head down, just grafting. This is your reward, man. Take it. That was it. How is it that AMAD is the only one that scored yesterday? You see his goal, the first goal, his second goal in Europe, a header, like doom. And then that rocket, and then it's like, you can't explain that. You can't. Those are the gods. Those are the gods. So in certain moments, like Manchester United, these guys, with Amarin coming in, these guys need to speak together. And they need to be like, guys, we are going to work our socks off. This manager, and Ruben needs to be ruthless. Like, he needs to be ruthless. Just like how these Springbok, the Springbok coaches, when they were preparing for the World Cup, they were ruthless in some of the decisions that they were making. When you look at that, when they were sitting in that boardroom making changes, like, this player has been playing well the whole tournament, but this semi-final, he can't play. We need this guy. But he needs to swallow it. He needs to swallow his pride. Our Manchester United team is full of sissies. It's full of girls. It's full of guys that get their feelings broken, hurt. And when that happens, their football also tanks. Like, I have never seen anything like it. It drives me crazy. It's supposed to motivate you. You're being benched. It's supposed to motivate you. David Papa Becks David Beckham is an example of it. You're wrongfully accused of some shit. Like, nothing is happening in your way. Cool. All right, you think I'm not good enough? Fine, I'll just continue training. Because you believe in your ability. And he's a world-class player. And trust me, your football will always speak for itself. I always say that to people. Let the football speak. Don't tell people that that's what you're going to do. Or that's how do it. We won yesterday. Good win. We're going to take it as our first win in a year in Europe. You know, it was a labored win. Like, we put ourselves in that position. It was so annoying. But we could have easily won that game. Easily. We could have easily put those guys to bed. Cholatira wouldn't have got the scolding that he got from Casemiro again. I don't know if you guys saw that. But like, it would have been all nice. Would have sent them packing, sent them back to Greece with 6. You know, say, unfortunately, you came to the theater of dreams. Here, you get your ass smacked up. But we gave them an opportunity for them to flex their muscles. You know, they were threatening at times, and it was just like, wait, what? So you guys are proving again to us that you're not good enough. You're not good enough. Absolutely not good enough. I want to give Ruud van Nistelrooy a big shout out, because honestly, the more I watch him, the more I see him in press conferences and the way he's articulating himself, man, I gotta say, the role suits him. The role suits him so good. Unfortunately for him, he's just not the guy. You know, and you know, there's this debate that has been going on in my head. In fact, it's been out there, but I've just been struggling. I never actually came up with an answer, what I want, because it's difficult. I don't know whether Ruud van Nistelrooy should stay when Amorim comes in, or if he should leave. Like, I've been thinking about that one. Like, I don't know, because number one, we've already seen the reports that the players, they want Ruud van Nistelrooy to stay. The moment we do that, like the moment the players say we want, that's where I'm already negative, because I don't give a fuck about these players. I don't. Like, I'm sick and tired of them calling the shots. So they cannot have any say whether Ruud stays or goes. But the sole fact that they wanted him to stay made me be like, Ruud must go, because they're gonna hide behind him. They're gonna hide behind Ruud van Nistelrooy. They're gonna hide their bad performances. They're gonna hide behind him, and I don't want that. And Ruud, being the legend of the club, he will protect them. He will. He will protect them. We know that. We've seen that a lot. These ex-players, he will protect them, and we don't want that. We want somebody who is going to expose them. We want somebody, if he feels like, no, man, you're just not doing it for me, he takes you off and puts a solution, and we see it, and we'll be like, so you can actually bench Rashford. Like, you can bench him and then he doesn't look like he's actually, you know, that kind of thing. We are excited because we have never experienced, Manchester United has never in the history of the club 3 defenders. Never. We use fullbacks, wingers. That's us. That's our identity. That's just who we are. We've never used 3 at the back. This is going to be something different. This is going to be something, I don't know how you want to take it. But we are now moving into a new era. Football is changing. Management is changing. Up top has changed. You know, they're really trying to build the team in their image, in the Ineos image. You know, so gone are the days where things are just gonna fly at Manchester United. My only concern is, and I don't see a lot of people talking about this, so please, can you guys leave a comment about this? Because I don't know. Ineos told us that they are trying to build a structure at Manchester United, and this structure obviously is reminiscent of places like Brighton, Liverpool. You know, when I say structure, I mean, if a manager leaves the club, the style of football, the football doesn't change, right? Brighton, we saw that. Graham Potter, when he was there, he was doing the business. When he left, so even I myself thought, oh my God, these guys are going to they're going to tank. Oh no, up comes De Zerbi. De Zerbi just continues the philosophy of the club, the football. 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it, 4-3-3, whatever formation it is, all those players from the first team right up until the academy, that is what is being taught. That is the blueprint. Do you understand? So Ineos have come with a similar approach to Manchester United this season. They've told us that they're not going to buy players over 25 years old. You need this. They've set all these parameters. They dictate the style of play, all this kind of stuff, all this shindigs, what. Now, when you come up with the style of play and all these things, when you're going into the transfer market, you are looking for players that are going to complement that style of play. Do you understand? So you can't be like, for example, in the 3-4-3. Let's just say, let's just take in our normal 4-2-3-1 situation. Then that 4-2-3-1, the two are either a pivot or box to box, right? Then we've got the wingers, right? If those wingers, say for example, we're going into the market and we're trying to get a center forward or a Xerxes, for example, because I feel like Ineos made this similar mistake, like not looking at the structure that we have and then going to buy the player. Because when you look at Xerxes, Xerxes plays like a number 10, which is Bruno's position. Now, if Ineos can come to us and say, listen, the idea was when we brought Xerxes in because Bruno is, that we're looking for a replacement for Bruno. Cool. Like, that will make sense. But it'll be like, isn't that a little bit too early to get him? Like, we could have used that funds somewhere else. Because if you're trying to replace Bruno again, that's also another, that's going to be difficult, by the way. To replace Bruno when the time comes, it's going to be so hard. You will see. He's playing shit right now, but the day comes for us to replace him, it's going to be difficult. So you buy players that complement your system. Ineos have come here and said that, listen, the 4-2-3-1 is the way to go. Or have they? Because that's what we've been playing. That's what Erik ten Hag has been playing. That's what Ruud has been playing. We are playing 4-2-3-1. Ruben plays 5-4-3-2-1 or 3-4-3 or 5-3-2. Either way, he is different from the 4-2-3-1. Now, when Ruben comes in, he has to accept. I don't know I don't know what the discussions are. Like, that's the part that I'm waiting for, because I know with the players that we have, we can actually complement his system. I actually believe it. But is that what's going to happen? Like, what if Ruben now is looking for another center back? You know what I mean? What if he's looking for another winger? What if he's looking for something different? Like, and it's just like, oh, what are we going to do? So, with regards to that, I don't know what you guys think about that, but I have been thinking, and I'm not too sure. I don't know if Ruben is going to come in and implement his 3-4-3. If he does, it's going to take some time. I'm talking at least a year. And when I say a year, I'm not talking about these boys having a burst of energy and beating teams just a couple of games and then tanking. When I say a year, I'm talking about consistency. Obviously, in the beginning, it's going to be hard because we'll get beat up. We're trying to understand the system, trying to master it. But then once we master it and we start playing, it becomes a different ballgame. It becomes something different. So until we reach that point, I don't know. I really, truly do not know. I don't trust some of these players. I think I've already told you guys. Based on what they did to Erik ten Hag, I don't trust them. And it's annoying. It's annoying. It really is annoying to sit there and watch them play the way they are. I look at Casemiro, and I think I was telling my people here, I was like, listen, it's unfortunate that Casemiro just started picking up his form after Erik ten Hag left, because he's looking super. He's putting in crosses, he's putting in tackles, he's putting in the interception. Casemiro is doing the job that we wanted him to do, the job that we bought him to do. And he's looking fit on top of that. You know, he's not laboring. Yeah, there are moments where he gets beat, but he looks more comfortable now. You know, now you can't blame that on Erik Ten Hag. You can't. Casemiro was injured last season. Was injured. Came on slowly, had to build it, and even him coming back, it has been difficult. Casemiro, if you guys by now do not understand how his body works, I'm sorry for you. But if Casemiro gets an injury, it takes him time to get back. And the only way he can get back is if he plays. If he sits on the bench, oh my God, it will prolong. He has to play. That's just how he is. You understand? So, I don't know. I wasn't completely happy with the win. We could have done better, but I'll take the win. Our first win in a long time. At least we've put some points up, and yeah, I'm excited about that. Now we move. I don't know if these boys are seeing these little, you know, we need to appreciate Rude, because this moment, this short period moment, it could be the turning point. Or it could be a pivotal moment. Do you understand what I mean? Like Rude taking over and then the players having this fresh start. This could be it. And then Rude will just pass the baton on to Amorim when he touches down, and then we just continue. You know, that's what we're looking for. We want everything. We want what's good for Manchester United. So we will see how that goes. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds. It's your boy, Don Benito. And yeah, Manchester United, what do you guys think? You guys think we're back? Do you guys think, or are we waiting for Amorim to come there and change our fortunes? Leave your comment below.